Africa's most renowned show jumper, Oscar Ncube, has competed at 1.50 meters at World Cup qualifier level and was chosen as a member of the first ever SA Showjumping team at the All Africa Games in 2007 held in Algeria. Now, showjumping for 2 decades, Ncube is counted among the best the world has ever seen. Now, his achievements really span over the time that he's been doing this sport, and he's here to chat to us about show jumping and, of course, competing at the SABC SA Derby. Oscar Ncube, very good afternoon and welcome to News Today.
Thank you for having me.
Quite an interesting sport, a minority sport in South Africa. How did you get into it and what really attracted you to the sport?
You know, I started when I was 8 years old. My mom used to work for a lady that had horses. So, you know, as a naughty kid, I used to go and jump on the horse while at least no one was noticing. So, and then she started giving me lessons, and that's where it started. And since then, I've never turned back.
How expensive is show jumping?
You know, it's different from like playing soccer. Obviously, you just got a soccer ball and you got it, but with horses is that you got to have the horse. And you obviously with the gear, having lessons. But since like I can say the last 6 years, there've been quite like developments that have been actually helping out. You know, like if a little bit of underprivileged people. Like, I mean, we got like Nissan that actually does development days and development riders, which is actually helping. And yeah.
Okay. And what would you say are some of the most important techniques for someone who is interested in show jumping? What does a sport entail?
You know, like I say, like show jumping, obviously you're dealing with an animal. So it's more of like you've got to have a lot of patience, and dedication is like one of the key, I can say one of the key things that you actually got to do. And, you know, like we've got a lot of riding schools in South Africa that you can go and try out and see if you got interest in it, and then you can move forward to there.
All right, now you've got the SABC SA Derby coming up. Take us through the preparation and what kind of competition is this?
The derbies, the SABC Derby, it's totally different from other shows that we do during the year, like the World Cup qualifiers. So here you've got the like obstacles where you've got to go down the bank, and you've got like what we call a road crossing, a dike, and you know it's a totally different preparation to any other event, and it's basically like Durban July of Joburg. So everybody comes and watches and enjoys, yeah.
And how good would you say our horses and, of course, riders are when in comparison to maybe the rest of the world?
We've got very good horses. A lot of people have been breeding and importing a lot of horses from Germany and all over the world. So we're actually getting quite close to the rest of the world in terms of the rideability of people and the horses.
And what would you say are some of the challenges or obstacles that you've had to face getting into the sport and obviously competing at the level at which you compete?
I would say like more of like the horsepower. Obviously with the horses, you've got to get the right horse to jump in the big level. So, I mean, okay, and getting us to know the sport, you know. So it's taken a while, which I've been very privileged. I've been sponsors with the horses, which have been very good horses that I've jumped in the big level. Yeah. And
for people who maybe just don't have a clue, an idea of how lucrative the sport could be when you do it professionally, could you maybe take us through that?
Like, for instance, like I start quite early in the morning at 6. So from 6 to 5, I'm always riding, 6 to 5 p.m. So it's actually long hours and a lot of headaches.
And can people make generally a lot of money from the sport?
You can do, like, I mean, a lot of us, like me, I do a lot of teaching and I school people's horses, and so that's where we generate our money in selling horses.
Great, so you'll be competing this week. What goes into your own personal preparation, mentally and physically, just to get ready for the competition?
Especially now, like I said, the horse that I'm competing, which is, it's a very good horse, and it's quite brave, and so, you know, it gives me that motivation that I am going to do well.
All right, fantastic. Oscar Ncube, thank you so much for your time and for coming to News Today.
Thank you.
All right, that is show jumper Oscar Ncube, who's getting geared up to compete at the South Sea SA Derby competition, which kicks off on Wednesday.